Tom Hanks was born on July 9, 1956, in Concord, California, but his childhood was far from stable. When he was 4, his parents divorced, and he spent his early years being moved from one city to another, living in places like Sacramento, Red Bluff, and Oakland. By the age of 10, he had already lived in 7 homes and attended several different schools. He described it as feeling like a visitor in his own life. His father, Amos, struggled with alcoholism, and the family often lived in poverty. For more than a year, they stayed in a converted garage with no running water, cooking on a hot plate and using an outdoor tap for everything. When Tom was 10, he found his father passed out in their car, which was repossessed the next day. Movies became his escape. For 50 cents he could spend weekends in the theater, watching classics and memorizing lines from Jimmy Stewart films. He began performing backyard plays with his siblings, turning boxes into props and bed sheets into curtains. At school he joined the drama club and quickly stood out. During a performance of Our Town, he forgot his lines and improvised the rest, earning praise from his teacher, who recognized his natural talent. Home life, however, stayed chaotic. When his mother remarried in 1970, her new husband enforced strict, military-style discipline that frightened him. At 15, after a fight in which his stepfather destroyed his box of movie clippings, Tom ran away and spent 4 nights sleeping in a friend's car before his mother convinced him to come home. Those nights alone taught him the meaning of fear and independence. At Skyline High in Oakland, he finally found some stability in theater. He wasn't a top student, but on stage he came alive. By his senior year, he had landed lead roles that drew attention from classmates and teachers alike. In 1974, his father disappeared from his life entirely, and Tom, at 18, took on adult responsibilities. He worked as a bellhop at the Oakland Hilton for $3.50 an hour while attending college and living off fries and cheap textbooks. That same year he met Susan Dillingham, who would later become known as actress Samantha Lewis. They bonded over theater and married in 1978, having 2 children, Colin and Elizabeth, before divorcing in 1987. Hanks's career began with rejection. He was once turned down for a role in the Philadelphia Story for being too tall. In 1977 he joined the Great Lakes Shakespeare Festival in Cleveland, earning $45 a week and working tirelessly on stage and behind the scenes. In 1978 he won a local critics award, which pushed him to move to New York. His film debut came in 1979's low-budget horror movie, He Knows You're Alone, which paid him $800. The movie didn't make an impact, but it gave him experience. Moving to Los Angeles, he struggled through hundreds of failed auditions until he landed Bosom Buddies, a sitcom about 2 men pretending to be women. Though he doubted the show, his nervous humor worked perfectly. When it was canceled, his agent dropped him, and he fell into debt until Ron Howard remembered seeing him on Happy Days and cast him in Splash. The underwater scenes in Splash nearly broke him physically. Weighted down to stay underwater, he filmed while panicking and secretly saw a therapist just to cope. But the movie's success launched his film career. After a few failures in the mid-1980s, including The Man with One Red Shoe, he hit his breakthrough with Big in 1988. The film made $151 million, earned him his first Oscar nomination, and proved he could carry a movie. He and co-star Robert Loggia practiced the iconic piano scene themselves, and the film's success cemented him as a Hollywood star. The early 1990s brought both triumph and physical strain. For Philadelphia in 1993, he lost 40 pounds on an 800-calorie diet to play a man dying of AIDS. The extreme transformation helped him win his first Oscar, but left lasting health effects that contributed to his later diagnosis of type 2 diabetes. The following year, Forrest Gump became a global phenomenon, earning $677 million. On the second day of filming, director Robert Zemeckis told him to stop acting and simply live as the character. That advice changed his performance. Hanks filmed the running scenes while sick with the flu, running 5 miles a day despite blisters and exhaustion. Even the famous line, "I just felt like running," came from pure fatigue. Hanks's dedication continued with Apollo 13, where he endured hundreds of zero-gravity dives in NASA's training plane, and Saving Private Ryan, which left him emotionally shaken after weeks of brutal combat scenes. For Cast Away, he lost 55 pounds over 4 months, halting production for a year to show his physical transformation. The experience pushed his body to its limit and worsened his diabetes. Off-screen, his personal life was often turbulent. His marriage to Samantha Lewis ended after he began an affair with actress Rita Wilson, while filming Volunteers in 1984. They married in 1988, but the transition was painful, with public criticism and tension over his children. His daughter later wrote that the divorce left deep scars. Hanks admitted his infidelity caused the breakup, but said his marriage to Rita helped him find stability. Together, they converted to Greek Orthodox Christianity and built a family, though their struggles continued when their son Chet battled cocaine addiction for years. Through his later career, Hanks continued to push himself with challenging roles. He learned Ukrainian for The Terminal and endured complex shoots for Angels and Demons, where he broke his shoulder during filming. Despite setbacks, the movie made nearly $500 million. As the voice of Woody in Toy Story 3, he recorded emotional scenes in isolation, sometimes breaking down in tears. In Captain Phillips, he performed alongside non-actors whose real intensity fueled the tension of the film. Spielberg again cast him in Bridge of Spies and The Post, where Hanks delivered acclaimed performances rooted in moral conviction. But fame brought new challenges. The 2014 Sony hack exposed his private emails and revealed his quirky hobby of collecting vintage typewriters. Later, deepfake scams began using his likeness in fake ads for miracle cures, forcing him to publicly warn fans. Despite decades of success, he admitted to struggling with imposter syndrome, saying that on the second day of every film shoot, he still doubts himself. Health issues followed him through the years. In 2013, he revealed on The Late Show with David Letterman that he had been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes after decades of extreme dieting for roles. In 2020, he and Rita became among the first celebrities to test positive for COVID-19 while filming in Australia. They endured severe symptoms and a long recovery, and Hanks later said that even simple tasks left him exhausted. His later projects were a mix of ambition and disappointment. His 2023 debut novel, The Making of Another Major Motion Picture Masterpiece, became a bestseller, showing his creative range beyond acting. But in 2024, his reunion film Here with Robin Wright and Robert Zemeckis failed to connect, earning only $15.8 million. Critics said the use of AI to de-age him made the film feel cold and distant.